So where are we going now?
Woodbridge.
Woodbridge, the OG of master plan communities
You know
in
it.
Irvine, California. So here we are. We are in Woodbridge. We like to call Woodbridge the OG of master plan communities because it is a fantastically planned master plan community, but it is on the older side. Irvine, it kind of is famous because it was one of the first cities that really started master planning, having all these master plan communities, and then a lot of cities followed suit. You obviously see master plan communities all over the United States.
All over the world at this
all
point.
over the world. And Irvine was one of the early adopters of this idea, and Woodbridge is one of the first.
Yeah, what you see in Woodbridge, like a lot of stuff was built in the 1970s, 1980s really, and then you have a mix of townhomes and condos and single family residences, but you are, like, this is, if you don't like HOAs, look somewhere else. That, you know, Woodbridge is kind of where it all started as far as, like, even if you were in a house, you were still in an HOA because the entire neighborhood, the village of Woodbridge was, because, you know, actually, I guess Irvine doesn't call it neighborhoods, they call it villages, right? The villages of Irvine. So this is the Woodbridge Village, or the village of Woodbridge. And, like, no matter if you're in a house, you know, like typically, you know, in other places, okay, you didn't have an association. Here, you're within the village of Woodbridge, and what that affords you is that you have all these community resources, like all these community like pools, tennis courts, and all that stuff. And usually, I used to be only confined to a specific small HOA, like, you know, where your specific property was located. But this is like the entire neighborhood, and this neighborhood's like 20,000 plus people. So this is not like, this is like almost a city in and of itself.
Yeah, it's bigger than
a lot of cities.
Yeah, it is. So before we continue, let's just introduce ourselves.
I'm Sean Dezahd.
I'm Courtney Dezahd, and we are both licensed real estate agents here in the state of California. And if you are thinking about moving to Irvine or anywhere in Orange County and the surrounding areas, don't forget to call that number right there. Reach out to that number right there, and we will set you up with a member of our team who will help you get started on finding that perfect property for you. Whether you're 3 months out or a year out, it's never too early to get started.
As far as like a point of reference, Yale Loop is like this ring that's like this beltway basically that is like kind of gets you everywhere within Woodbridge for the most part. And you can see like these tree-lined streets, super cute. I love Woodbridge. Woodbridge is pretty awesome too because it's right along the 405 freeway, like basically 405 Culver, you know, like kind of like the cross section, the intersection. And so it's super easy to get to wherever you need to go to in Orange County, because sometimes some parts of Irvine are kind of one of those things where you're kind of deep, like you're deep in, so it's not convenient to get to from point A to point B. But Woodbridge isn't like that at all. Yeah,
I feel like Woodbridge, in my opinion, it has really good value purely because of the location being so centrally located. It's so easy to, you know, whip on and off the 405, of course, presuming that the traffic is not horrific. But actually, in this part of Irvine, I would say the traffic, if you compare it to like other spots around the county, it's actually like fairly decent. Of course, we're grading it on a curve, but yeah, so I would say just the convenience of Woodbridge is, in my opinion, just such a plus about it.
Yeah. Also, you'll see that Woodbridge, okay, so it's mostly residential stuff, but within it, you still have other things. It's not, you know, you do have some retail and commercial stuff within Woodbridge itself. You have 2 lakes in Woodbridge. Now, okay, these aren't lakes that you would swim in. So let's.
You can kayak. You can kayak. They have like a little kayaking thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The more you know.
The more you know.
But I mean, as you can see, like it's just really cute.
But yes, depending on when you're here in Woodbridge, you'll see people, you know, running, walking their dogs. You'll see kids walking home from school. You'll see.
Speaking of schools, you want to talk about the schools, basically. So this is part of the Irvine Unified School District. So according to niche.com, it's ranked 2nd in Orange County as far as school districts are concerned.
Yeah.
And so okay, there's the lake basically.
So yeah, so that's the lake, and then they have the lagoon, which is just like kind of like this big pool that people use when it gets hot. So nice in the summer. And Sean has some memories of that, right? Because when his mom lived here, so.
Yes, I went to the lagoon. Yeah, the high dive, the lagoon, all these various pools and tennis courts and stuff. And it was cool because you just had all these amenities that was just so weird for the time. Just to again, this is really, not to date myself, of course, but like you're kind of. Well, again, it just wasn't a thing in a lot of South Orange County. South Orange County seemed so far away.
Yeah.
Like, but like if you get past the El Toro Y, like, where the 405 and the 5 freeway intersected, I mean, that was kind of like no man's land for like the longest time. And then obviously now it's all built up, but they kind of took a lot of cues from Irvine, especially like Woodbridge, on how to kind of develop their communities, basically. And so you have some of these homes are kind of like lakefront, I guess. Like, I mean, I kind of use that word loosely again because it's not.
It's not. It's a man-made lake, very obviously man-made.
Yeah, and not a big. It's not a big lake. Like, it's not like for instance, like Lake Mission Viejo is like that's a pretty good sized lake. I mean,
but even that is on the
exactly.
smaller
It's
side.
not.
Yeah, but it's not like one of those lakes where it's a bigger lake and then you can wonder if it's man-made or not. This is very obviously man-made.
Yes. So some of these homes, this is lakeside. So this is a community here. These are kind of like duplexes almost. I mean, not, so you share a wall with your neighbor here. So again, cute community. Obviously we're here on trash day just so, they do pick up the trash here. So we wanted to show you that part of it. But yeah, so it's really cute. I mean, I love Woodbridge. It's great. It's not on the expensive side because Irvine can range all over in price points, and I would say it's probably the middle. Like, especially consider the location given how close you are to everything. I think it's fantastic. Now, it is on the flatter side. We kind of joke about Irvine as far as being, the Brady Bunch, like, a grid system, and Woodbridge definitely subscribes to that. It's pretty densely packed.
Yeah, you're packed in. You've got a lot of neighbors. You can see probably, if your neighbor is making a mistake, you could probably see them getting dressed. Obviously not intentionally, but as someone who has lived in Irvine before, that has happened.
Keep those shades down.
Yeah. Yeah, so yes, definitely much more typical in terms of Irvine being very densely packed.
Yeah, and I would say that Woodbridge, because it's so close to the 405 freeway, it's funny, like as you go a little bit inland, it gets, as far as weather goes, I would say the Woodbridge weather is good. I mean, it's obviously all of Orange County is great. I mean, let's be real, but as you get more west, it gets that much better, and so it's one of those things to be aware of.
Yeah, and obviously you can tell too that because Woodbridge is older, it does sort of subscribe to the every house looking the same. It's very obviously master planned. Irvine has a reputation of every house being a different shade of beige, and definitely Woodbridge has that flavor. So if that is something that you do not want, reach out to us, because there's definitely other, even in Irvine, which is mostly master planned, there's other pockets that aren't so obviously master planned, but Woodbridge definitely, because it's on the older side, you do get that flavor for sure.
Yeah, and in case you ever get lost in Woodbridge, just keep going. You'll hit Yale Loop and you know where you're at. Like, because you'll just be, and then you'll kind of be linked to everything else.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, another thing, we always talk about Irvine being the land of 10,000 parks. Woodbridge is no exception. It probably actually started that whole thing anyway.
Yeah. Seems like there's literally a park on every corner. I actually don't think that that's an overstatement.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like some places where there's a Starbucks on every corner. In Irvine, there's a park in every corner.
Yes.
We were lost, and now we found
Yale Loop.
Woohoo! Woohoo! And also, just so you know, like Alton, which is a pretty good sized road itself, it runs kind of like right through, dissects Woodbridge for the most part. And then so as you can see, this is along Alton and Barranca is kind of where you have your like retail centers and some office stuff. Like it's mostly retail.
Yeah.
Again, if you're looking for like office stuff, you're probably going down to actually like the Irvine Spectrum or down to the airport, both of which are pretty close to here. So that's, again, amazing thing about Woodbridge is that it's very easy to get to anywhere, honestly.
Oh yeah, so we're just passing over, what is this trail? I used to run it all the time. You can actually go down to Newport Beach on this trail.
Yeah, it goes all the way to Back Bay, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's a trail. It runs through Woodbridge, and it goes through by UC Irvine, all the way to Back Bay.
Yeah, and also like, so we're approaching Barranca, so this is another corridor where you have some retail establishments. Actually, you have a lot of medical establishments here, so you'll have like a Hoag hospital, which is a big hospital in Orange County, like kind of like an extension, or like they have a like emergency.
So where a lot of the doctors are.
Yeah,
where their like offices are.
Yeah, and also they do have like the Hoag pediatric centers. Like,
and they have an urgent care.
An urgent care here too.
Yeah,
that's true too.
So we're just going to show you just another little random section.
We're heading towards the North Woodbridge Lake.
Yeah.
And some people are doing some work. Look at that.
Oh yeah, wow, it looks like they're gutting that house.
It kind of looks like a needle.
Oh yeah, wow, they're
gutting it. Yeah,
totally gutting.
So that's what you'll see in Woodbridge. A lot of, because these homes were built in, like a lot of it was built in the 70s. There's definitely been some work done to some of them. Like some of them are kind of on the older side and could need some TLC, and some other ones actually look rather stunning. This is again very of the era, right? Like these single family residences, and
yes, just
although I'm getting nostalgic right now.
I know.
When I was a kid.
It is. I personally really like Woodbridge. I feel like people forget about it because it's on the older side. Definitely, there's definitely other pockets of Irvine where it's just,
newer.
It's newer. I like the architecture better, but to me, I just feel like because the location is so centrally located, and it is, like Sean was saying, it's not on the higher end side in terms of price for Irvine, so I feel like you just get really good value here.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, it's just like it's a great community. I mean, I just love how convenient it is, and you still get that whole Irvine feel, and again, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and also, I don't know why I didn't think of this, but they got Woodbridge High School, and since Sean and I are both cross-country runners, they got the big cross-country invitational that they do every year.
And Courtney always holds it over me. Yeah, she got the course record.
No,
blah, blah,
I
blah.
don't hold it over him.
I'm sorry if I'm not good enough.
I was actually hoping you wouldn't say that. So if you're into cross-country, which obviously most people aren't, but you'll be right next to a very large cross-country invitational.
There you go.
So remember to subscribe to this channel because we do a lot, not only driving tours, which is new for us. We're starting this.
Yeah, so tell us how we messed up, because we need to know. The more you know.
The more you know. Yeah, so tell us, do you like this? Because obviously we're trying different things in this channel. We just want to make sure that it's actually providing value to people who are wanting to move out here. And I do feel like that, the vlogs are cool and stuff, but when you do the driving tour, you get more of like an actual real flavor of what it really is like, right? Because you're showing the streets, you're showing just everything that's happening, right? You're seeing the people that are walking along. You're just, you're seeing what it's really like on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, just look at this. Is just like so typical Woodbridge, just a cute little tree-lined street, obviously master planned, but yes, this is kind of what Woodbridge looks like. This is what you're getting if you decide that you want to buy into Woodbridge.
Yeah, and then obviously we're going to also drive you down some of the major, there's a couple major streets, like as far as shopping corridors or retail corridors. So Barranca and Alton, they run parallel to each other, and that's your major shopping corridors there. So you'll get your strip malls with your Sprouts, your grocery stores, gas stations, restaurants and stuff like that. It's not, again, there's other parts of Irvine where you would actually have, let's say like the Spectrum. That's where you have a major shopping center. That's, again, fortunately, it's a good thing about Woodbridge is close by, but it's not actually within Woodbridge itself. But Woodbridge does have some of that. Some of these neighborhoods in Irvine, they're all residential. There's nothing that they offer beyond that. So Woodbridge has a little bit of everything going on.
Although one thing I will say about Irvine, because obviously it's just a bunch of master plan communities, whoever planned Irvine did a really good job of, when there is a target that you think there should be a target, there's a target. When there's I feel like there should be a strip mall with a bunch of restaurants here. There it is, a strip mall with a bunch of restaurants. You're like, I feel like there should be a grocery store. There's a grocery store. It's very well planned. So even if you're not getting the major shopping like Sean was saying, over at the Spectrum, you're getting pretty much everything you need within 5 to 10 minutes of where you're living, no matter where you're living in Irvine.
Yeah. Like, as far as a day-to-day perspective, it's pretty well self-contained.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's really not, I mean, except for the job part, which obviously that just kind of depends on where your job is located. However, I mean, you get a gashing wound, there you go. You got medical establishments right around here. Shopping, again, grocery stores, or like need to eat some stuff. Again, you kind of have, so this is Barranca, right? So this is kind of one of the major kind of like office medical shopping options that are, you know, in Woodbridge itself. Again, it's really cute and just really well kept up. I mean, it's just, I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting when you hear people's perspective that aren't from, you know, Orange County, because so I actually, so just, you know, somebody I met through the years, she was from Wisconsin and then she lived in New York City for a long time. And she said that when she got to Irvine, she was just so astonished by how beautiful it was and that she would just drive around the streets because it made her happy.
Wow. That's interesting. I never heard that one before.
I know, but I just thought that was, because obviously.
So this is Hoag Urgent Care right here.
Okay.
So in case you get a cut.
Yeah.
And this is actually one of the shopping centers we're coming across. So this actually does have a little movie theater. So this is Woodbridge Village Center, and it's kind of straddled between the two lakes, right? I mean, so
I think it has frozen yogurt in there.
They have frozen yogurt. They have a grocery outlet, banks. You know, just some restaurants.
Oh, and here, I don't know if you can see, the lake is just to the right of us.
So yeah, again, there's some offices. Again, this is not your major employment center in Irvine or in Orange County for that matter.
But you are close.
But you are close. Yeah, because I would say like three major hubs for job hubs in Irvine are the Spectrum, UC Irvine, as well as John Wayne Airport. Like, I'd say that's kind of where your primary jobs are gonna. Like if your primary job hubs are.
Well, that's in Irvine, but then there's also
Irvine.
Newport Beach, and then also Anaheim. Those are, so Irvine itself is the largest job hub in all of Orange County.
So we're right at the light of Culver. So Culver this kind of divides this part. This is Woodbridge on this side, and West Park, and then so not technically in Woodbridge, right across the street from it. This is kind of like a pretty good sized shopping center right here. So you have a Target here, you have like banks here, you have FedEx office here. And then they have Panera Bread. So they have a bunch of different stuff here, which is great. And then actually on the other side, again, there's a lot of shopping right along Culver. It's such a big artery. And this will get you the 405 freeway. And then also, of course, then you have Barranca, which is a big shopping corridor. And then Alton, which we're going to go down. These are kind of like, again, kind of just showing you what, you know, again, to get your stuff, you know, on a day-to-day basis, what you'd be doing. Oh yeah, and you have a Chipotle here. That's super important.
Well, that actually is. I feel like Chipotle is just when you need something quick on the go.
That you don't feel horrifically bad that you ate it. Like, so obviously, we know it's not the perfect best food for you, but the ingredients are pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, so this is not technically Irvine, but LaPorte Montessori. This one is a Mandarin immersion Montessori school, in case that you're, you know, that's interesting to you or not.
Yes, that actually, so our children did attend that Montessori school, which is why we know that it's there.
五绝小满颂欧阳修
Yeah, and so they started 18 months, and it's kind of funny, like, as early as they pretty much started speaking, period, they were speaking Mandarin, which we don't know a lick of at all.
Yes, but we're very happy that we did that.
Yes. And then so we're going back. So yeah, Alton is another, again, major corridor within Woodbridge. It kind of dissects it along with Barranca, dissect Woodbridge. And what you have here is to our left is Woodbridge High School. Again, huge cross-country invitational.
Yeah.
And again, Woodbridge on niche.com, along with a lot of other high schools in Irvine, ranked pretty highly on the top high schools in Orange County.
Yeah, so if you go on niche.com, pretty much any school, I mean, obviously, correct me if I'm wrong, you can go on there and check for yourself, but I'm pretty sure every school in Irvine has at least an A- on niche.com. So obviously, you know, the rankings in Irvine is a big reason why people really like this area.
Definitely one of them. I mean, the jobs, like there's
The convenience.
Yeah, it is, because Irvine really is kind of the geographic center of Orange County. So you have the 405 freeway, which Woodbridge, runs along, and then also the 5 freeway, which is just only a couple miles down, which, again, these are 2 of the major freeways in all of Southern California.
Yeah.
And so they both run through Irvine.
Yeah, Irvine just has so many things going for it. I mean, it's so convenient. It's the job hub of Orange County. Obviously, when you check greatschools.org and niche.com, it's got, really highly ranked schools. So people, and also it's won many awards, throughout the years of, one of the best places to live in all of the United States. I mean, people just know Irvine. Oh, and then another reason why people know what Irvine is because it has been ranked the safest city in America, according to FBI data of 250,000 and greater, 16 years and counting. So that's another reason why Irvine gets in the news and why people call us about it, because they hear about it.
And so what you have is, to our right is part of Woodbridge, to our left is the other part of Woodbridge, and this is just and Alton is running right through here. And again, you have some strip malls here, and again, Woodbridge High School, of course. And then we're gonna hit another strip mall. Like, that's kind of like the other edge of Woodbridge. But yeah, see, again, great area. Again, good amount of shopping and stuff like that. Just very convenient. 405 freeways right here. It's just super, super convenient. It has kind of everything you need. And remember, we are licensed realtors here in the state of California. So as much as we love making these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, what you want to do is you want to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email.
Or you can reach out to us via WhatsApp. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back.